Hey all of you, hope you guys are great. So in the last video we have completed the banner section. In this video we're going to work on the live section. So here we are in the index.js. We'll click on this live component and here we're going to receive the props we have sent, all the properties. And now it's time to receive the data and render the data. So let's come up here. Here we have to render. So simply get the property and that's what we're going to simply rendering. Simply remove it here and pass the property. And you can see we have 4 property right now and we are displaying 4 property. It's working fine. Now what I will do, I'm going to simply rename this to property, and now we have to just simply feed the data. So this is the link we have. I'm going to simply remove this one and we have to simply take this href template role and I'm going to simply redirect this to the detail page with the query, and the query would be the product id property id, sorry. In that we have to send the property id. So when we'll go to the product detail page, property detail page, in that the id will be available in the url. So we'll fetch the id in the url and we're going to render the data. You can see it's looking absolutely fine. So we'll have the property id. So that looks fine. If you click on that, reload the browser, and you can see it's reloading and it's taking a little bit time from getting the data, and we can display the loader. And here it's not displaying because we have some sort of animation going on. So I'm going to remove the animation. Simply come back here. So here we have an animation called slide up. This is one. Simply remove both one and save it, and you can see here we have that one. If you reload the browser, you can see it's working absolutely fine. It's taking a bit time, and here we have the data, and I don't want to display this bidding time counter, and this is the one. Simply remove this one, save it. Okay, not that one, we have to remove. Simply come and bring it back, and we have to remove the counter component. Okay, this is the one we have to remove. Simply remove this one, save it, and come back. You can see now it's looking nice. If you click on that, here we are on the detail page, but the property id is undefined. Why it's so? Detail property and it's undefined. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. So let's come back here and let me console log out the entire property, and let's see what the name of the property id we have given. So we'll have the properties. Come here, do the inspect element, and let's try to have a look on the data. So console log, and here we have the data. Open this one. Here we have the property id. Okay, small d, not capital D. That's the mistake I have done. So it'll come here and small d, and this will fix the issue. So if I come here, close this one, and if I click on this, it will redirect to the property details, and I will have the id of the property, and on the I can use this id and I can simply render the data. Looks fine, no issues we have. So this one is working fine. Now we have to simply display the data. So I'll simply remove the image, and I'm going to fetch the image which we have in the property. I'll say image. All of you, so I had a good 10-minute break and let's back to coding. So this is the data we have passed, property image. Save it, and this is the alt tag. You can define the name of the property. We have the title, and that's what we're going to feed into this. Looks pretty fine. So we have the image, we have the alt, and we can come here, and here we can come and simply go back to the page, and you can see it's taking a little bit time to come. And can you guess why it's happening? Because there is an animation is going on, and it's also taking a little bit time because we are fetching the data from the contract, and there is a 1 and 2 second delay. So you can display the loader, but for the time being we go like this, and at the end we're going to fix all of this thing. So you can see the image size is not up to the mark, because in this particular UI we're going to use a particular ratio image. So we'll use 500:500. Okay, but this one is close to 16:19, the ratio of the images. So we're not going to use this image. You can use that, but I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use 500:500. So we're going to update all of these images. Right now we have this demo data, but we're going to feed the data of the property with all the variables. You can see everything is working fine, and on over effect we're going to display the address of the users. So we can come up here, and here we have the anchor one. So we'll simply come here, we'll take this dynamic block, and we'll say if property, and we have the review, and that will have the address of all the users who have given the comment and shows their address. Okay, so we're going to display their data. So we'll take that review and we're going to simply loop over it, element I, and we have to make it instant return. And in that we're going to simply take this block, cut this one and paste inside this, and here we're going to display the client name and the thing. So remove this one and we can come up here, we can display the address of the user, so instead of name. So we'll have the element, so we'll take a template tutorial and we'll say element dot slice, because element is the address and we have to slice it down to 15 characters, and that's the address of the user. And here we have the client and we need to display different images for the client. So we're going to simply change this particular data, and this will be the dynamic one. So we'll have this block, we'll say I+1, and it's going to change the value and we'll have the images. So if you save that, you will find that the images will display. So just save it. And now what we can do is, here we have this one hard-coded data, so we're going to simply remove this. So let's come up here, let's close this one, and try to remove this one. And we have this bidding, you can keep it or you can improve it, but I want to keep it, but I want to change the text. So we'll say property dot reviewer dot length. So if there is a length, means if anybody has given the review on that scenario, if it's not equal to 0, okay, that's the check we are doing. So if there is a review, there is a length, then we want to display this particular component. So what I will do, I will simply grab this one and cut and paste here, and I will say I'm going to change this text. So it will be interested users. You can type whatever you want, but this is the message I want to give it. Save it. You can see right now we don't have any comment on any one of these properties. The data is not displaying, means our logic is working fine. The logic is working fine. And we can come up here and we have the button, so the 3 dots we have. So we can simply close this one, and I want to simply remove this one. If I remove this one, I want to remove this part, remove this one, and you can see it's gone. So now it looks pretty clean. So that looks good to me. Now we have to simply feed the actual data. So instead of present, we have to say something like, let's take this one block, bring it back, and in that I can pass the property dot title dot length, and we have to compare if it's greater than 25 characters, because we don't want to display the entire title, because some property will have a small title, some property will have a big title, and if a title is bigger than 25 characters, we don't want to destroy the UI part of the component. Okay, so just we try to keep it safe, so it's displaying. So if it's greater or equal to 25 character, then we want to slice it down, and we'll say property dot title, and we want to slice it down to, let's say, 0 to 22. Okay, so that's the character we'll say, else we have to display the complete title if it's less than 25. So that's the dynamic block we have. You can see all of the titles are small, so that's why you can see this is working fine. So this looks good, and here we have this. So we're going to simply remove that one, and we have to feed the actual data. So we'll display the property dot price, and it's let's say Matty coin. So that's the price we have, and we can simply come up here. Here we're going to show the interest and the like. So actually we're going to push the data of the comment. So okay, you can add a like, but I will go with the data length, that how many users are interested into this. So those who will comment on the property, we're going to calculate their interest and will display in the like section. So that looks fine, and I want to slice it down to 5, because I don't want to have more than 5, because our array will contain like all the properties data, and we want to display only 5. So things looks pretty good. You can see the data we are displaying here, but it's not in the proper order. I think I messed up. So what I will do now, I can see this is the price. I will simply take that one, cut that one, and I'm going to paste here. And in here I have to pass the category. Okay, category. So I'll say price dot category. So save it, and here I will say category, and that looks fine. If I save it, okay, there is something wrong in that. Maybe I have misspelled that. Yes, what I will do, why it's the data is not displaying, so things are looking fine. Now what I will do, I'll do the inspect element and I will try to find out what's went wrong. So let's see that what is the name I have given to this. Okay, the spelling mistake, sorry, my bad. Simply grab that one, come back here, and you have to simply paste here the right spelling category, and now it will display. If you remove that one, you can see each property will display its category. So right now we have this random data, but we're going to display the actual category. The animations, everything is working fine. So this component looks absolutely incredible to me, functionable, and you can see we have 0 likes because we haven't have any reviews into that. So that looks pretty fine to me. Close this one, and now we can come back into the index page and we can start working on the other components. So we don't need to do any changes in the service component because we're going to keep it like it, and we're going to simply move to the product. So if I come back in the product section, so this is the section you can do the changes. Like we already have all the data, we have the housing, we have the farmhouse, we have the office, we have the rental. So all you have to do is to feed the data in this particular section, and I will leave that for you because that's a repetitive work. Okay, so the same logic you have to follow here as well. Now we're going to start working on the other component. You can see we have all of this data, and that's what you can feed it, and you can change this. Now if you come back to the top seller, here we have to display the top creator on this platform. Okay, so this is the section we're going to work on. So we already have the data. So if we come here we have the creators. We're going to take that and receive the props. So we have the data. Now we'll simply come up here and we're going to render the actual data. Simply come up here, not in the bracket, remove the bracket, and that looks fine. And this we'll call the seller, and that looks fine to me. We can come here we have to assign the key, otherwise React will throw you an error. And this is the seller. We have simply copy that one, and here we have to display we have to take display the different images. So we can do this. We can simply take the template tutorial and we have to simply change the number. So come up here, remove that one, and we have to increase this number. So I'll take this one and I will pass I plus, let's say 1, and it will have a different images. So if you come here, you can see that it's taking a little bit time because we have this animation. So simply remove this one, slide up, and that will fix the issue. You can see we have this 2 user who have created their properties. So that looks fine. Now so that looks okay. Now we have to display the address of the user and their balances. So we'll display the address. So we'll do seller dot honor, and we have to slice it down to, let's say, to 10 characters. We don't want to display the entire address because it's a big one, and we have to display the amount of property they have. So we have this value in the total. So save it and it will display Matty. Okay, Matty, not Vetty. Okay, looks pretty fine. And this is the extra piece of code which I kept it. So what I will do is, you can see we have all of the same repetitive code. If I come here, if I simply select all of this, and if I uncomment this one, you will find that these are the same components. So let me reload the browser and you will find these are the same. So you can see here we are, and here we are, all of these, and those images are broken. So I will simply select and remove this one. I don't need to display because we have the dynamic component, and that's going to automatically add. So it looks pretty fine. So we have the first user, this is the second user, which is a bug. That's a bug we have in the contract, and because of that we have got that 00, which we will fix in the updated contract. Look pretty fine. Now we'll simply close this one, and now we're going to start working on the collection section. So that's one is a pretty easy one. All we have to display the collections and the length as a whole. So simply come here and we have to receive the props. So come back here and we have to receive the props one by one. So come here, take this one and paste here. We have to come back here, and now we have to take the rental, then we have to come and take the farmhouse, and we can come back here and we'll take the office. So these are looks absolutely incredible. So we have all of these properties we have taken, and we have to take the import the link tag. So we have the link tag, and now what we can do, simply come up here, and here we're going to define the category, the collections, and we're going to loop over it. So let's come here, let's call top collection, and it's a variable, and that we have to define the object. So we'll say const The name will be like housing, and housing. Then we have the link, so we'll say housing. Let me inside this double quotes housing, and we have to display the length, that how many items, how many properties are there in the housing category. Okay, so that's the one. Simply replicate it 4 times and change the name. So this will be the rental. Let's copy that one, very small. This was also rental. Select, copy, select, and this one is capital. Copy that one, paste here, copy this one, and select all the 3 and change, and this will be capital O. And that's the top collection we have. Simply copy that one and copy that one, and we have here, simply remove this one. This is the one we have, collections. And now we have to actually provide this key, otherwise React will throw us an error. And here we have the images. So what I will do, I'll take this, come here, I'll take this link tag, and we'll have this href, we'll provide the path. So the path is going to be something like this. So we'll have this category, and we have to send the collections link, and we have to also send the query. So we'll have the name, and this will say the collection dot name. So what I will do, I'll simply close this one, cut and paste inside this, and that looks good. Now what we can do is, we have all of these images, so we can do one thing. So let's take this class and paste right here, and we can remove this anchor tag, remove this one and remove this one. That looks fine. Now we have to simply take this normal approach, we have to make this image dynamic. So we'll remove this one, and here we're going to simply increase the number. So we'll say I plus 1, I plus 16, you can call whatever you want. So we'll say I plus 15, let's say. So that's the one we have. Simply grab that one, and the same thing we have to do for all of this. So this will become 16, and this will become the 17, this will become the 18, and looks fine. We can remove this one, 11, and this is the client section we have. So we can make this one as well dynamic. Simply come here, and this will be the dynamic one, I plus 1. So that's the images, and here we have to display the actual name, collection name, and the total of collection we have, means the length, the item. So this looks pretty fine. So we have feed all the data, and it's again taking a little bit time because we have that animation. You can see the data is taking a bit time to come, and this looks pretty fine. And here we have the top collection, but the images are broken and we made some mistakes, and that's why you can see the housing, the numbers are displaying absolutely fine. So come up here, and here we have to do something. So I can see the problem. So here we have the collection, it's not collection, it's coming from the portfolio. So let's remove that one. We'll say portfolio, copy that one, and the same thing we have to paste here. Now you can see all the images are displaying, so it's working. So we'll grab that one and replace all of that in one go. Save it, and you can see we have the images displaying, and the length is 0 because we have limited, we have not a specific category we have defined, we have given the random data. That's why you can see that. So looks pretty fine. We are done with this entire component. Hope the entire thing making sense to all of you guys, because we have already done the hard work. We have already done the hard work for building the entire logic and designing the data. All we are doing is feeding the data into the template. Here we are redirecting to that. So if you click on that, you are redirecting to the property page, and that's what we're going to work next. So close this one, close this one, and that's the only thing I want to talk about in this video. So finally we are done with all the data feeding in the index page. In the next video we're going to work on the property detail page. So let's move to that.